Hi everyone, this is Sunette, and in this video we're having a look at supporting those of you whose partners are porn and masturbation addicts. So first and foremost, in terms of assisting and supporting another person, what comes first is who you are inside yourself in relation to them and whatever it is that they're going through. So in other words, in this video we're going to be having a look at how it is that your starting point, who you are inside of yourself in relation to your partner and in relation to what they're going through, why it is of utmost importance for that starting point to be absolutely clear inside of yourself so that it is not filled with emotions or judgments toward your partner or what they're going through. Because if your starting point inside yourself is that of judgments and emotions, it is going to affect your approach with your partner, what they're going through. It is going to affect your words, your decisions, so many things. So let's for a moment have a look here at this being you and this being your partner. All right. Now, if you approach your partner with emotions and judgments, even on any slight subtle level within yourself, we are actually, as people, quite aware of one another's presence, of the sound of one another's voice. So in other words, if your presence, right, and your words contain emotion and judgment, your partner is going to pick up on it. Because what's happening inside yourself is you are making the addiction the primary point, the primary problem, making it a huge thing inside yourself if you are reacting to it emotionally or judgmentally in any way whatsoever. So then it's like here you're trying to deal with your emotions, your reactions and experiences, and coming with all of that to your partner. What's happening within that moment in your voice, in your presence, in your behavior is you're actually focusing more on the addiction in itself. What does that mean? That means here you have the addiction and all the emotions and reactions and judgments in relation to it, and your partner as well. And now with all of that, you're coming at it to your partner, and what happens in them and their mind is they're making this addiction point again a big thing emotionally inside themselves, because then they start reacting and then they become emotional and either start judging themselves or start judging you. So then this whole platform of support does not become of support, it does not become of support for your partner. It becomes the support, actually, in fact, of the addiction. It's because the emphasis and focus in both of you is on the addiction in itself, so much so that neither of you are actually connecting with yourselves and so with one another, right? So therefore, if you are honestly at this moment in time in relation to your partner emotionally or judgmentally reacting to their addiction, it's to first and foremost assist and support yourself to let go of the emotional reactions, let go of the judgments, because with releasing your emotions and judgments inside yourself in relation to the addiction, right, in relation to the problem, you will allow yourself to be able to take that step back inside yourself and look at things a lot more clearly in terms of finding and developing a way on focusing on a solution rather than reacting to the problem. I mean, it's the same with all things inside yourself, really. If you have a problem inside yourself or in your life, and you keep on thinking about that problem and you keep on reacting to that problem, you start making the problem bigger and bigger and bigger. But the moment you take that breath, let go of your reactions, place that problem in front of you, look it in the eye and say, okay, how are we going to resolve this? And with that, you'll find an interesting thing. So here you've been reacting to the problem that was the addiction, and you may have tried to help your partner within that starting point, when you notice that they didn't change or they're not changing, no matter how much you're speaking, no matter how much you're asking, it's like nothing is happening. So you'll find here within your previous approach, you've more actually been speaking at your partner. You've more approached them either being too confrontational or being too lenient, kind of trying to find your feet because that process or experience was like a little bit difficult, was because you were focusing more on the addiction and the problem than connecting with your partner as a person, where the two of you really sit down with one another and say, all right, this is the problem, let's understand it, let's have a look at what's involved with the addiction, and let's see and find a way where we can work together and assist and support ourselves and each other to walk through this addiction. Because it does not only, interestingly enough, affect your partner, it also does affect you. And this is also an important point to open up between the two of you, how it is affecting one another, and within those effects, how you can support one another through this experience of the addiction. All right, so you make the addiction a point there where the two of you can come together kind of, around that addiction, look at it as equals and say, okay, this is how it's affecting me, this is how it's affecting you. How are we going to come together and work on solutions for ourselves and so for one another? All right, so for this video, what I would like you to do is to be honest about your emotions that you're going through and the judgments that you have, to let them go and remember that the more you're going to judge and emotionally react to the addiction, the more you're going to disconnect from you, from your partner, and then make the problem even more and even bigger, because then you're constantly focusing on the problem as the addiction instead of finding solutions. All right, we'll continue more in the next video. Thank you very much.